I didn't only just want to write songs about love and stuff like that. So I wrote songs about everything. I just loved writing songs, still do. And one day I had this neat thing happen. My little boy, Aaron, number 2 of my 3 sons. I have 4 children and 10 grandchildren. But number 2 son, Aaron, came home and he said, "Dad, got some big news." I said, "What?" He said, "St. Bernard's is getting a Cub Scout pack." I said, "Awesome." He said, "Oh, Dad, you don't know, the best part of it is they need den leaders." And I went, "Oh man, I know they're gonna find den leaders." And he said, "No, Dad, I don't think you understand." He pulled out this yellow sheet of paper, just I guess. He said, "I want you to be my den leader." And I went, I didn't say it to him. I just said it to me, quietly. "I'm way too cool for that." I said, "I'll wiggle out of this somehow." So the next thing I knew, I was standing in another line down at the Jet Potter Boy Scout Center. And I'm going, "Well, how this go? I'll tell him it just didn't work out, the schedule and everything." Who's standing in front of me but my doctor? He's a pulmonary expert in Nashville. I said, "David, what are you doing here?" He said, "Well, my son wants me to be his den leader." And I went, "Oh, this looks bad for the big guy." Because I got way more time than a pulmonary expert. So I got to the head of the line and I just went. My son suggested I might be a good den leader, but I think you find people better qualified. No, Mr. Leigh, you just hang around, hold it right there. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? And I went, "Why, no, of course not." And they had all these boxes they started checking off, no. And I went, "You're right, you just keep going, no, because I didn't do it." And I went, wait a minute. This is the greatest marketing bunch of people I've ever. If I step out of line right now, everybody's gonna think the worst of me. Because I won't even tell you what they asked me. It was so horrible. So the next thing I knew, I was down at my tailor getting the nicest looking Boy Scout uniform you ever saw. Gigantic. Scarf and everything. Man, I looked smoking. I was, because the den leaders, the boys wear blue and gold, but the den leader wears green and gold. And it's, without the tailor, you're lost. But my son said, "Dad, think about it. You got the Suburban, you got the basement, we got the American flags." Doggone if he wasn't right. So I got down there with my son and we got in our uniforms. We started walking around the basement, saluting each other, pulling out the flag and marching around. I was going, you know what, I kind of like this. Something about it feels right. And my other 2 sons, one had already been a Cub Scout, and we had whittled stuff together, but never had our own den. And so my little buddy, my little Aaron and I, we went down to Target. We bought us about 11 chairs that are folded and everything, put them in the basement. We got ready for the big day. He went to school dressed like a Cub Scout. I stared at my uniform all day long. My palms sweaty, itching to get into that uniform and drive that Suburban to St. Bernard's. And I'll never forget it as long as I live. I was driving down that long driveway, the only male in the whole line. Everybody else, women picking up their kids. And then I looked down, man, you're dressed in a green uniform with a yellow scarf. And that's good, Richard, don't panic. It's all good. I get there, and I go, oh my gosh, where are the kids? Richard, you have the wrong day. But then, out of this little alcove, I hear this, there he is! And these 9 little guys, blue uniforms, gold neckerchiefs, come running out of there. They jump into that Suburban and it starts rocking back and forth like this. They put their little chubby fingers up into the headliner of the thing and they start pulling and everything. And I'm going, whoa, what have I done? This is going to be incredibly hard to, 3 years of this, And then all of a sudden, my son, in that third seat, that bench seat, way in the back, in a Suburban in the 80s, they were long. They look like limos now, They're real long. He was way in the back. He goes, hey, Dad. All 8 of the other guys just got real quiet. I went, yeah? He goes, Dad, you look cool. I went, oh. And that did it. The next 6 years of my life, and 2 dens later, 2 sons later, I was a Cub Scout den leader. Had the greatest time of my life. I won awards for just showing up. They thank you in every way they can. But one day, Judy Beadle from Den 1 came up to me. She was little. She was mean. She wore the same uniform as I. She came up to me and said, and the little bitty thing looked up at me and said, Richard, the Blue and Gold Banquet's coming up again next month, as you know. I went, yes. And as always, you have the song. You bring your guitar and you sing a song with your den. And I said, yeah. And she said, but we're getting a little tired of the bear came over the mountain. And I said, wait a minute, Judy. We nailed that one. And she said, no, we'd like you to, you're a professional songwriter, are you not? She spoke like that, are you not? And I said, I am. And she said, well, why don't you write a song for the Cub Scouts? And I didn't want to say it to her, but I politely said it to myself quietly. I went, what rhymes with Cub Scout, Judy? And I had to think of something harder. Well then, suddenly something happened, really magical. All of a sudden, my 8 or 9 little guys started coming up right around me. And they were listening to Judy Beadle, bug me a little bit about this, but they were kind of excited. And they overheard her, and I looked at them and I thought, they think I'm going to write a song for the Cub Scouts. And so I said, well, Judy, and I remembered our motto. I said, Judy, I'll do my best. And all those little 8 or 9 little pumpkins' heads, those little pumpkin heads started going like, yeah, Mr. Leigh's going to write us a song. And I went, oh, yeah, yes, boys, I will. I'll write us a song. It'll be